Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you are having a fantastic day. In today's video, I finally get to share my very first hormone replacement therapy journey update. So if you are newer to my channel, I started taking HRT back in the beginning of December 2024. And when I started this whole process, I promised you guys that I would do some periodic check-ins to let you know how the HRT was actually affecting my body and whether it was relieving a lot of those really awful symptoms that I was dealing with from perimenopause. So I figured it would be good to give it at least 3 months for the hormones to kind of settle into my system before letting you know how it's going so far. So it's officially been 3 months. Well, that's wild, but yeah, 3 months have gone by, and so today I'm just gonna kind of share where I'm at. If you are newer to my channel and you have not been following along on this perimenopause journey that I've been on for a little while now, I do have some videos on a playlist. You can find that playlist on my main channel page. So you can kind of start at the beginning when I, started noticing a lot of these things, and then kind of, tried some over-the-counter stuff and kind of reported back on how that stuff worked for me. Bottom line is that none of the natural things that I tried really worked for me to a point where I was getting the type of relief that I was looking for. And so I just knew that I wanted to take it a little bit beyond, just natural supplements. So I was really pushing my doctor for a little while to prescribe HRT. And when I finally did convince her, the one kind of hurdle that I had to get over, by the way, you're gonna notice the lighting changing a little bit. I'm filming this after work today, and so the sun is totally in the wrong spot. So sorry about that, but we'll just have to deal with it today. But yeah, I finally convinced my doctor to prescribe the HRT, but the one thing that I needed to do first was get a mammogram. And quite frankly, at that stage, I should have probably already had my first mammogram, and it slipped my mind. I feel like it slips a lot of women's minds. So if you have not gotten your first mammogram and you are over 40, you need to do that. So make the appointment. But so I had my mammogram, and unfortunately they found a lump in my left breast. Now, the thing that really needs to be brought up in this situation is that I had a breast reduction back in 2013. And when I had that reduction, the plastic surgeon told me that in all likelihood, any mammograms that you get in the future are probably going to give you some funky results. So just prepare yourself for that. So I have known that since 2013 and fully expected it. And here we are. And yes, there was definitely a lump in my left breast, but every radiologist that has looked at the imaging that has been done since then has said that it is scar tissue from that reduction. So I essentially had to wait a year. Well, she wanted me to wait 2 full years. So my insurance, which is a lot of times just an absolute nightmare to deal with, like it is for most people here in America when it comes to health insurance, my insurance refused to give me the opportunity to do a biopsy on the lump, just to get that 100% almost instant reassurance of, that being scar tissue. I just felt in my heart that's what it was. But the insurance basically said, no, you can do 2 years of ultrasounds, and if it doesn't change during those 2 years, then the likelihood of it being scar tissue is probably pretty darn good, right? So anyway, even the radiologist who initially looked at the mammogram was like, nah, I'm pretty sure that's scar tissue, but we should monitor it, right? Which is the responsible thing to do. So definitely happy to monitor things, but I was disappointed that, that the solution, according to the insurance, was, getting these ultrasounds for 2 years prior to getting on HRT, instead of just doing the biopsy and finding out what it is and then moving on from there, figuring out what to do. But after after I had my ultrasound in the summer, that one came back normal again. Nothing had changed. So basically, after I had the mammogram, I started a year of these ultrasounds, and by the time that I had the second ultrasound, nothing had changed. So that was last summer, and so I went back to the doctor and I just kind of asked, you know, once again, hey, are you sure? Are you positive that, you know, like, I can't start on HRT, my symptoms are getting worse? And she said no. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll suck it up. I continued to try just a bunch of like natural supplements to see if I could find some relief that way. That just was not working out for me. So back in November, middle of November, I went to the doctor one more time and I said, look, listen, I am willing to continue on with another year of ultrasounds, but nothing has changed. And the 2 ultrasounds that I have had and the mammogram that I've had, several radiologists have taken a look and they all believe that it's scar tissue. I'm pretty sure it's scar tissue. I am willing to sign a waiver if anything happens to not like sue you, basically. I really want to try HRT. I'm struggling and nothing is helping and I can't continue to live this way, not for an entire other year. I'm not doing it. Please prescribe the hormone replacement therapy, or I'm gonna like go with like an online company or something to do it. So anyway, she relented as long as I would continue on with another year of ultrasounds. And that is going to be the case. I am due for another ultrasound this summer, and then I will get one last one at the start of next year. But yeah, so she gave me the HRT. I started it at the beginning of December, and now I am crazy excited to give you guys the update. Long story short, I feel so much better. I feel so much better, you guys. So let me tell you what I'm taking. First thing, I am taking this, the estrogen that I am on is the estradiol transdermal system from a company called Sandoz, this right here. When I shared what I was going to be utilizing for HRT, because there's a few different ways that you can go about this, obviously. Some people were very confused by the fact that I only change my patch once a week. They were telling me that I need to change my patch twice a week, but I'm not sure that people are aware that there is a like twice a week patch and a once a week patch. I'm taking the once a week patch. So literally on here it says apply 1 transdermal system per week. So I am supposed to change this weekly, not in like the middle of the week. So I change this patch every single Monday, and I have actually started using this film. I will link it in the description box down below. I should have brought it upstairs, but of course I forgot it. Actually, let me go get it because, yeah, let me go get it because this has been so helpful. So hold on one second. And we're back. Okay. So I apply this patch once a week to the front of my hip. I alternate sides, and I don't want to open this one, but it's just a little oval, it's like a sticker. It's basically a sticker with medication on it. So it continues to release the estrogen into my system for a full week. And the dosage is 0.05 milligrams a day. Now this will probably be adjusted as I continue on through perimenopause. So if my symptoms kind of start ramping up again, we can up the dosage of this. But she started me on what is a pretty like average dose. Just kind of looking at my symptoms, she thought that this dosage would be a good one to start with. And I have to say, I think it was a really good starting place. Now, the thing that I discovered very quickly is that these little stickers can be a pain in the butt. First of all, they do want to collect a lot of lint around the outside. So one of my amazing subscribers, who is actually a pharmacist, recommended that I get this transparent film dressing. Now, I ordered the exact wrong size. Look at how big this is. It was comical when these came because I was like, oh, I didn't need it to be this big. Like, it's this enormous thing here. Here, let's just get it out. So it's enormous. It didn't need to be this big, but I basically apply this over this sticker and it protects the estradiol patch, and it keeps lint from collecting around the outside of the patch. So, but what I do is I cut these in half because, like I said, I ordered the wrong size. So this was absolutely genius. And if you also use these transdermal systems, I would highly recommend getting something like this and putting it over top. It really helps protect this, and like I said, keeps the lint off of it, keeps the water off of it. So when I shower and stuff, the water just beads over this, and it's a really great way to protect the patch. So yeah, I ordered this off of Amazon. This size here is 4 by 4.75 inches. You don't need it to be quite this big. I think if you did like a 2 by 2 or something like that, that would work just fine. So I'll link this in the description box down below, but maybe in the correct size. So, or you can get the big one and then just cut them in half like I did. That's another solution there. So, but yeah, so I change this patch once a week, and then every single night I take a 100 milligram capsule of progesterone micro. So I take this right before going to bed, and that has been the routine every single day now for 3 months. And let me tell you about my symptoms and where they're at. So I would say some of my more obnoxious symptoms have really calmed down the most. I think the one that I am the happiest about, to be completely honest, is that I am now sleeping. I am sleeping every single night, and I sleep like a friggin' champ. When I say that I take this progesterone, within an hour, I am lights out. I don't care what is going on in my head. I don't care what is going on in the world. I just fall asleep, and I stay asleep, and it is glorious. There would be times where I would literally not sleep for almost 5-6 days. Like just maybe getting an hour a night, but not much beyond that. Just, it was awful. If you have ever dealt with like severe insomnia, it is awful. Your brain cannot function that way. I was really struggling there for a while, especially with doing what I do for a living. Like, I have to be alert. I have to be able to I have to be able to use my brain. Anyone who works has to be able to use their brain to function at work. And I just was having the hardest time, you guys. Even with just interacting with my family, I was so tired that I was just cranky all the time, and I feel awful about like how snappy I was with both Stella and Craig there for a while because I just wasn't sleeping. So first thing, I am sleeping, and that is absolutely glorious. No issues at all there. I take my pill and my head hits the pillow, and there might be a few minutes of me just kind of being like, oh, okay. There it is, and then it's just lights out. It's fabulous. It's like almost like taking a sleeping pill. Secondly, I dealt with severe nausea as my hormones were fluctuating. My hormones were just like up and down all the time. It was awful. And for whatever reason, that manifested in nausea. I was severely nauseous, and it would hit me at the most random times. Now, it wouldn't be long periods of time that I would feel like that nauseous feeling. It would basically be like 2-3 minutes. Sometimes it would last up to 10 minutes, and those were like the worst bouts. But it would just be this insane feeling of like, I feel like I am going to throw up, and it would come up again at the most inopportune times when, you know, I'd be standing at work, I'd be doing something, and suddenly I would just like double over thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to throw up in front of all these people. I would run to the bathroom. It was awful, you guys. So the nausea, almost completely gone. Now, right before my period, usually there's one day where I'm a little like, I feel a little queasy, but nothing like it was before. Like I can go weeks now without feeling a single bout of nausea, and that's great, man. I'll take that. Listen, if I only deal with it periodically, like I will take that. That's fine. Totally something I'm capable of, you know, working around. Also, my rage, my anger, my just general I will say has reduced greatly. I still have bouts of feeling a little, you know, moody, a little, you know, sassy sometimes, but I think it's just because of today's world and everything that's happening, and it just, you know, boggles the mind sometimes. But yeah, just the fact that I can get through the day without wanting to chop someone in the throat, like that's great. Like I would get so mad sometimes that it would be really hard to control my anger. And I'm not an angry person. Like this is the thing that really bothered me about the rage and the anger that I was feeling inside. It's not normally who I am, you know, like that just it's not my natural personality, and it really bothered me that I just lost all patience for everyone. I had no patience for my child, I had no patience for my husband, I had no patience for friends, for family. I just didn't want to like hear anything from anyone anymore. I wanted everyone to just stop talking, to not like be around me. Honestly, I felt best when I was just alone and there was no one around me, because then there was no one for me to be mad at, and I just wouldn't feel bad about it. So now I feel like I can be a lot more social. I feel like people can tell me things and I'm not immediately going to fly off the handle. That is definitely huge, and I'll take it. Other small things that I have noticed. So I was getting, and this isn't a small thing because I was dealing with ear infections very frequently there for a little while. And my ears constantly felt wet. I don't know what that was all about, but I would, like, my ears just felt so wet that I would constantly be like, what is happening? So I would stick my fingers in my ear to like try to get like water out or something, but it wasn't water. I think I was just producing like a ton of earwax for some reason all of a sudden. Again, that has never been a thing for me up until recent years. And because, you know, I was constantly just probably sticking my fingers in my ears, like trying to like, you know, get the water out or whatever, I started getting these ear infections, and some of them got so bad that like the side of my face would swell up. Like they were brutal. Ever since starting HRT, my ears have felt normal. Like they feel dry. Like I don't have overly waxy ears anymore. And I had no idea that like my hormones could cause my ears to go wacky. It was just wild. Another little thing that it's kind of silly, but I feel like I have to shave my face less often. My peach fuzz was prolific there for a little while. I was shaving my face. For a long time, I would do it like every couple of weeks, but it kind of gotten to a point where, especially because I wear powder foundation, that I could really notice that peach fuzz just coming in extra hard and extra fast. So I'd have to shave my face more often. I have now gone back to shaving my face basically like once a month. It's almost like it immediately cut off like the hair growth for me. So that's kind of nice. My periods are so much easier again. I do still have my period, obviously. It hasn't stopped, thus I am not in menopause yet, but my periods were getting brutal, you guys. I had never had issues my entire life growing up. Even when I was a teenager, I might get like a small cramp here and there, but I never had issues with cramps. I never had issues with a super heavy flow, but oh my gosh, did I have that for the last couple of years. It was a huge change for me. And the amount of discomfort that I would be in when I would get my period was just like, it was outrageous, you guys. I'm not someone who likes to take pain meds necessarily, but I definitely was like popping Tylenol all the time when I was on my period there for a little bit because I just was so uncomfortable. I'm allergic to aspirin and ibuprofen, so I couldn't take that stuff. So all I had available to me was basically Tylenol. So I was just taking Tylenol all the time, and that's not good either, right? Like that is really hard on your liver. So now I have not taken a single Tylenol for cramps at all since starting HRT. I don't have the cramps anymore, and my flow has slowed down significantly. Like it was really bad there for a little while. I thought maybe like, am I going to bleed to death? Like what is happening? And now it is back to where it was probably when I was like in my 30s. So much more normal, much more acceptable. So that's another big thing. Yeah, it's just honestly, I feel like everything is easier for me now. I feel like the brain fog has lifted. I feel like I can think more clearly. And I just feel like a happier person. And that is, I miss that. Like, I mean, listen, like I can be very sarcastic, but just, you know, my natural nature is to be a somewhat happy, content person, right? Like I wasn't born a total grump, but I really felt like I was just turning into this awful person who was so mean, so moody. I wouldn't want to be around me. And all of that has just completely turned around for me with just adding these two things into my routine. Now, like I said, there is probably going to be a time where we have to make adjustments here to what I'm taking. We might have to add something else in. I know a lot of women also have to take testosterone. That's not something that my doctor thought I needed at this point. It might be something that we add in later on. But right now I am feeling so good that she is going to renew the prescription to allow me to continue on for the time being. And she's just going to monitor me and has encouraged me to check in with her periodically as well to let her know how I'm doing. Obviously, I am continuing on with the ultrasounds to make sure that the lump hasn't changed at all. But yeah, I feel very confident that I made the right decision here and that I'm on the right path. But I will say it's not the right path for everybody. So what I think the best thing to do is find a physician who listens, find a physician who is willing to work with you. I am still on a waiting list to switch over to a gynecologist for that part of my healthcare. I will still see my family care doctor for any ear infections down the future. She's still gonna monitor me for the pituitary tumor that I have. You know, she's still gonna monitor me for all of those other things, but I do think it's a good idea to see a specialist in women's health when it comes to hormone replacement therapy. I think that gynecologists probably have a little bit more training when it comes to HRT. My doctor also she is very conservative when it comes to this type of stuff. And she also has a preference that women are not on HRT for the remainder of their lives. For her, the research she has done has said, you know, somewhere around 10 years is kind of ideal. but I think that I might want to remain on it longer. So yes, I am still going to switch to a different doctor, a gynecologist, to kind of guide me in the future on this hormone replacement therapy. I think I'd maybe be a little bit more comfortable with that. And, you know, if the gynecologist says eventually, you know, you should stop taking this, I would probably feel a little bit better about taking that advice from someone like that versus my family care doctor, who has had some training in this, but obviously not the amount of training that she probably should have. So, yeah, but long story short, you guys, I feel great. I'm so excited to be able to share a positive update for once when it comes to being in perimenopause. At 46 years old now, I finally feel pretty darn good. I feel like I can go to work. I feel like I can function. I feel like I can be a good mother, a good wife, and just live this little life of mine and, you know, try to make it through. So there you have it. That's my 3-month update. I will give you guys a 6-month and 1-year update when the time comes. And then, of course, after that, as I adjust, you know, the dosage, or if I add anything else in, I will let you guys know. But I'm just really excited to be able to share something positive with you for once. And like I said, this may not be the solution for everybody out there, but it is a solution, and it is worth looking into to see if you're the right candidate for it. Just make sure that you have a doctor that is willing to kind of guide you on the process, right? So anyway, I really appreciate you guys being on this journey with me, all of the feedback that you have given me, all of the information that you have shared. It has been endlessly helpful, and I hope that these videos are helpful to other people out there who are struggling with perimenopause. It's really difficult, and you don't have to do this alone, and you don't have to raw dog it. Listen, you can get help for this. Go get the help if you need it. There are things that you can do. Don't suffer in silence. It's not a necessity. So anyway, thanks for being here for today's video. I appreciate you guys so much. Like I said, subscribe if you are new. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.